Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tori if you're new here, and we are doing a meal challenge. I'm so excited. I haven't done one of these in so long. I'm trying to keep it from $10 to $15. We are feeding a family of 4 and we're gonna focus on lunches and dinners. If I can fit breakfast in there, maybe it will happen. I'm not sure. Inflation is a very real thing. I'm very confident in saying that. It's just happening, it's a fact. So I don't know. I don't know if I can do what I used to do a year ago. I know a lot of you found me through these budget challenges, but a lot of life stuff has happened and I have been trying to produce content and it's been tricky. So let's get into today's video. I am gonna get creative in my kitchen here. The kids are off at the bounce complex with their dad, so I think I have some time to get some meals prepared. If you're excited, please make sure you like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new, and let's get right into it. First things first, let's check if we have eggs. But I know not everyone has chickens, but eggs can be super inexpensive if you get them on sale. But I'm gonna see if we have any. I don't think we're going to, but let's try. I can hear something tapping at the store. Hello. What are you doing? Hi, you can't come in. You can't come in. It's 55 degrees. What are you doing? Where's Patsy? Did you ditch her? What are you doing? Huh, Loretta? All right, I laid some stuff out, but first, I always get crap in these videos for talking too much, but I'm past it. I've been on YouTube for so long. If you can't listen to 2 minutes of talking, you need to check out your attention spans because they're, you know, the media does that on purpose. You know that, right? That's what they're doing. But anyways, I shop my apps. That's one way I save. I shop every app that you can think of. I don't do a lot of the cashback apps. I probably could and get some extra dollars here and there, but I'm a mom of 2 going on 3 and I'm busy. I really am. So I think cashback apps are phenomenal, but store apps are great too. Walmart doesn't really have an app that has savings, but if you go into the store, look for the yellow tag. Those are closeouts in my area. And you know, Target has their 20% apps. I don't pay for any Target things. It's just a rewards-based program. I'm not a red card holder, but if you are, you still get 5% back, I believe. I'm not really positive. I'm not familiar with that. I'll try and stop walking around. You know, and we have King Soopers out here. I will say, I keep saying in these videos, I haven't done it for so long, so I'm trying to cover my bases here. Of course, every area is gonna change. Of course, if you are having food insecurity, dial 211. There are so many resources in every single area. If you are not comfortable with that, and if you're comfortable with emailing me, telling me where you're at, I will help you from my computer and find places that have food for you. If it doesn't work, I'll mail you food because there is so many resources out there. I've worked with the communities, I've worked for the schools, I've worked with community liaisons to get these children meals, and it's out there, it's possible. You just have to ask. I understand that it's difficult. I get it. I've been there. It's hard to swallow your pride and ask, but if it's for feeding your family, you're gonna have to look past it and keep going. So my number one thing is to shop those apps, see what you can find in store on closeout. King Soopers, Kroger, whatever you have, has tons of sales, like phenomenal deals if you get there in time. Their produce, if you are on the more healthier side like myself, they have some great options as well. And then secondly, I always shop my shelves. I find what I have in my shelves and I see what I can make with it. Is it going to taste phenomenal? Is it going to be this gourmet meal? No. But is it going to be filling? Yes. That's what's important, feeding your family. I will say with these challenges, sometimes they say that they're not healthy. I have plenty of healthy recipes on my channel. I've been on YouTube close to 5 years, so check out my recipe videos. And yeah, I think that's it. So I'm gonna turn you around, get you sorted out here. I will try my best to type out measurements in the description box, but if you are confused about a recipe, just ask in the comments. That's the easiest way to do it. I did not go to a store to buy new things. I shop my shelves because that is how I live. That's what I'm doing. I used to prep a lot of food. I still do. I just don't film it. So that's another thing. If you find something on sale, buy 3.
1 for now, 2 for later. That way you just have something. I always have dried beans, extra water, some sort of rice, a canned protein, and of course I'm forgetting something, but I have a lot of those items on hand. I have medical supplies. I took a lot of my prepper videos down because they were bringing in some negativity that I didn't like. So if you're interested in that, there are plenty of different preppers on YouTube that focus on that. So if you need anybody, just ask or type in prepper and you'll find them. So I'm also going to list the prices when I point to the item. I just have to look them up. Again, I'm in northern Colorado. It's a semi-rural area, but Colorado is an expensive state, very expensive. I come from rural Pennsylvania, and you know, there's more opportunity there to get to know your neighbor and barter with them. I will say I've brought that little system into our neighbors. I just went over because our chickens did not lay, of course. You know, it's the winter. I'm not going to force them to, but our neighbor, we trade things, and she has chickens. So I just got 4 eggs from her, and I got her flowers, and I have some dried teas that she really likes. She's pretty elderly, so I like to make her things like that. So I just went over and took her some of those. She always has extra eggs, and we chat, and I learn things, and I'm pretty introverted, so I encourage you to get out there, try and get out there and be part of your community. If you are disabled and can't leave, figure out an online way to do so. And I will say YouTube is great for that. So if you are feeling lonely, need to chat, comment down below. We have a great community here. So let me get you turned around. Sorry to talk your ear off. I just haven't done one of these in so long, and I'm passionate and happy. If you look back a year ago, you could probably see that I was uncomfortable making these videos because of the amount of negativity. So I'm looking past it. Let me show you what we're making. I'm excited that I have these on hand because these really are my staples. These are my go-tos when I can't think of something, because these things are always on sale or they're super cheap. Great value, Walmart veggies, 88 cents, mixed veggies. I typically eat organic, clean foods. Again, this is going to be different. So the great value mixed veggies are going to be 88 cents. You could get a can, but frozen, typically in the winter time for us here in Colorado, is just a little better because of the days that it's been in the bag or the can, if that makes sense. So we try and do frozen when we can. We have a pretty gigantic garden and it produced well. So I canned and froze and did everything I could with what we had that grew in the garden. Next up are these La Bandurrita soft tacos. These I can count on being 80 cents at my Kroger. I don't know why. It's probably once a month that they go on sale. No idea where they're from, but 80 cents is cheaper than the 5-pound bag of flour currently. It didn't used to be. And I like to make my own tortillas, but there's 10 of them in here. And for the ease of recipes, I'm just going to grab this package. If you wanted to make your own flour tortillas, it's literally flour, water, and oil. You don't even need oil. You could just put it in a nonstick pan if you wanted. Next up is cream cheese. I can count on great value cream cheese always being under $2. If you like the flavor of the name brand, go ahead and grab that. But great value cream cheese is pretty cheap. The thin spaghetti at Walmart is also 88 cents. Different pastas are going to do different things. If you're interested in something less than 16 ounces, I encourage you to go to your ethnic food aisle, your Hispanic food aisle. We have both just because of the large Hispanic population here in northern Colorado. They make phenomenal dishes, and it's in every single store. There's an aisle for them, so it's really, really helpful to pop in there. They have these pastas that sometimes are a half pound, and those can be 44 cents. I've seen them drop to 33 cents. They have vermicelli noodles, different kinds of noodles. They have alphabet soup noodles, which is really great for the kids if you're interested in that. But again, it can be any pasta that you want. If you are doing the flour situation instead of doing pasta and the flour tortillas, you could get a bag of flour, mix it with an egg and water, and roll out your own pasta. That's an option too. Moving on to potatoes, which kind of links to the pasta, you could make gnocchi is what I'm saying. So you could take that flour, add it to your mashed potatoes. I have one potato left. It's a gold potato, and I have a sweet potato. This is from my garden. I will look up the price. Sweet potatoes typically, especially now, are not the best prices, but if you are wanting a sweet potato, wanting that flavor, go ahead and find a canned yam or something like that, and it will give you that sweetness. Next up, rice. Rice is a typical one. Some might be thinking, I'm sick of beans and rice in these challenges, and I get that, but it's a complete meal. And if you don't like rice, I suggest finding something cheap and similar to this. So this is a 2-pound bag. I can count on Target for always having it under $2, and they typically have 10% or 5% off of Good and Gather. This week it was 20%. Next up is going to be oats. Organic steel cut oats at Walmart are $3.88. I would not say that that's a great price for a meal challenge, but for organic steel cut oats, that's a great price. I wanted to throw this in here. I probably won't be using it in today's challenge, but if you're not a flour fan or maybe have some sort of allergy, steel cut oats are great because you can grind it down and make it into a flour. You could also grind it down, put a little pinch of salt and maple syrup and water, and then strain it out, and you could do some oat milk. My daughter drinks oat milk, and we're still working on her getting into this, but this is what we use when we make her oat milk. Next up, chickpeas at Great Value, which is Walmart. Typically, I can get these for 72 cents, 82 cents, but they were on yellow tag discount closeout. I'm not really sure, for 50 cents. So I picked up probably 10 of these just because we eat so many chickpeas. I probably go through 2 cans a week, honestly. I really enjoy them. So I will show you what to do with the whole can of chickpeas. You could get dried chickpeas too, but this was cheaper. Next up, the Amy's Organic Chili. Again, not the best for a meal challenge, but Amy's Organic always goes on sale at my Target. It goes for 50% off, sometimes 40, but this organic can of chili came down to 94 cents, and I think that's great. There's a lot that you can do with this. You could eat it plain, or you can mix it, which is what I'm going to show you. We're going to mix this together with some other things for a tasty recipe. Next up, tomato sauce. Always counting on Good and Gather because it is the cheapest. Walmart is more expensive. Kroger, it's more expensive. This can is 80 cents this week just because it has that 20% off or something like that. But it's usually under $1. I don't know if I'm doing my math right, but super cheap. Next up, a green. They did not have any frozen spinach at Walmart, and I went to Walmart, I don't know, 2 weeks ago or something like that, a week ago. So I always have some sort of green in a can, and we have collard greens. I don't cook with this often, but I'm curious about it. So let's see what we can do with this. And then last but not least, pinto beans. I'm always getting pinto beans. My town is actually known for pinto beans here in Colorado. So we have a bunch of dried beans and some mylar and some buckets and some other vessels down there. But the best choice, no salt added, pinto beans are 2 for $1 at my local Hayes Market. So I'm going to throw that in there and show you what you can make. Dried beans are awesome to have on hand. I'm not going to use it for this little meal prep challenge though, just because I like to save my rice and beans for long-term storage. So let me get this put together for you and show you some recipes. I don't know if I'm going to cook it all out for you. I don't know if we have time for that in the video, but I will show you some hacks that I have, or maybe some things that you don't know in the kitchen. I'm not an expert, but I mean, you probably know how to cook pasta and all of those things. So we're gonna cut out some of those and I will show you how I put these meals together. First things first is some fried rice. So I did have some frozen rice in there and I'm just gonna use that instead. But all I did was put that whole bag of frozen rice in there, whole bag of mixed veggies. Actually, I saved about a half cup of mixed veggies. So I just put it in here, and this is going to make 2 different meals. So I will show you how I mix everything together. We're going for fried rice, and then we're also going to make a curry dish. I'm sitting here looking at my older videos on budget challenges, and some lady was like, what about drinks? And she was like really serious about it. Drink water. Y'all don't drink enough water anyways. I don't. Drink water. If you need caffeine, drink black tea or black coffee. Don't add anything to it. You can get those cheap too. And if you need alcohol, I get it. If you need it, then they have $3 wine at whatever, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, things like that. You drink a 40 for all I care, but water is the way to go. If you need a little something to it, grab some apple juice, throw a splash in there. Grab a lemon like I always do, and throw a splash in there. I can't answer every silly comment that I get, but that one got me. Drink water. Oh my gosh, it's so easy. All right, I decided that this isn't gonna be fried rice, it's gonna be Cajun rice. So I'm adding beans right into it. I did the whole can of pintos. And I'm just gonna use pintos for the curried rice too. I'd prefer chickpeas, but I need it for another meal here. So add that in there, really bulk it up with beans and veggies. And I will show you the seasonings that we're using. And then I did want to mention meats and cheeses here. You could use canned chicken, they have canned beef, you could do tuna, canned salmon, but they also have these ground turkeys at Walmart, and they're under $3. So look for the ground turkey. They're in the freezer aisle. You could get fresh too, but that's more expensive. They also have regular sausage too, pork sausage. But then I did want to show you the cheeses that I found this week. These were $1.79. They are the 6 ounces though. Typically cheese blocks are 8 ounces. So you just really got to check. My husband happens to love the Sargento mozzarella, so that's why I picked this up. But this is what I'm talking about. When you go to Kroger, you can find a lot of their almost expired cheeses, whatever's, dairy products, and you can freeze it, which is what we did. So look for that as well. If you can't find it, the cheapest block I found is $2.29 at Target. So the next two I'm just going to show you for sake of the time in the video. I don't want to lose a bunch of you here. So it's going to be the egg burritos. What you're going to do is have these soft taco burritos. You could also make them into little crunch wraps if you wanted and fold them over. They could be just regular tacos, but burritos are easy, especially for on the go and for the kids. And what you're going to do is scramble those 4 eggs. You could do a half can of the diced potatoes in there to bulk it up. And then you could also make this into a more Hispanic-esque dish and add those black bean chilies to all of this. And then what I do is spread cream cheese on each burrito half, and then I roll them up. My husband really enjoys this with some hot sauce. He doesn't need meat on it. And he's a meat and potatoes guy if you know him. So this is really easy. It's super inexpensive. And like I said, if your chickens aren't laying, or maybe you can't find any eggs on sale, ask a neighbor. Honestly, strike up a conversation. See what you have in your house that you can trade with that person. If you're more introverted, leave the eggs out and just add some extra chilies or maybe some extra vegetables or something like that. You could even throw in some collard greens. There's a lot that you can do with these ingredients. They may be pretty standard. They may taste the same throughout the week, and no, you don't have to have this for breakfast. This could be lunch or dinner. That's another thing you have to keep in mind. These meals are not going to be breakfast, lunch, and dinner meals. I ate spaghetti for breakfast the other day and I was fine. That perhaps is because of pregnancy, but you need to be a little bit more open-minded when it comes to these challenges. So this is an option. Let me show you option 2. Option 2 is good old spaghetti. You could just use regular spaghetti with tomato sauce. What I do to make this a little fancier is add some Italian seasoning, some garlic, and then maybe a teaspoon of sugar, and then call it good. But if you want to jazz it up a little bit, I make mine into like a Florentine pasta. So what I do is put half of these collard greens in here. Typically I have them frozen, so I haven't tried this can yet. And then I do half of the block of cream cheese and make it like a rosé Florentine pasta. And if you want to bulk it up, if you want to make it more filling, go ahead and add those chickpeas, or find the Johnsonville sausage or the Walmart brand sausage that's under $4 and throw that in there, or even canned chicken. Honestly, it's really up to you. Carbs, of course, are always super filling. If you can't have that though, you could go for rice. You could even do potatoes with this, like a baked potato. It really depends what you have in your store. I just wanted to show you an easy option. We all know how to cook spaghetti, and I have this recipe on my $10 meal challenges. So if you're curious, go ahead and look back into those videos. And then one last easy option that's really good is bean dip. It is the most plain thing, but it has so much flavor. It's a can of chickpeas or pintos, whatever you want to do. You're going to reserve that chickpea water. You could use that as a thickener. You could blend it into some plant-based mayo. You could even make it into ice cream. I've done that before. There's a lot that you can do with aquafaba, which is the chickpea liquid. So save that and then rinse your chickpeas. And if you're doing dry beans, do the same. That water is really great for a lot of different recipes. So add this with half a thing of cream cheese, some cumin, garlic, onion powder, salt, and pepper, and it becomes your bean dip. So you could serve that with pasta. I've done that before. It's really tasty, and you just add a can of Rotel, and it's like this Southwest pasta. It's really unique. You definitely have to keep an open mind for that, but it's good. Or you could cut those flour tortillas into little tortilla shapes and make chips, or you could find a bag of potatoes, just slice that really thin with salt and pepper, and then put some oil on it, or not, and then bake it, and that could be one of your dishes as well. I've made that a ton of times on the channel, but it's very, very good. So that's my last easy one. And then I'm going to show you another recipe here that I like to meal prep that's really good and a great plant-based option. Okay, last but not least is veggie burgers. I know I make veggie burgers all the time, but they're really easy. If you don't like veggie burgers, you use a can of chicken and some sort of thickener like flour or something like that. But this is pretty blended down already. If it's not enough for you, go ahead and blend it down with a fork. I add some mixed vegetables in there. Then I take my food processor to it and form it into some patties. And then for my thickener, I just use a sweet potato. So I just kind of mash that together, form them into patties, and I bake my veggie burgers. I bake them because I don't really carry vegetable oil or any of that kind of oil on hand. I find that olive oil, if frying in a pan, won't work the best, and coconut oil just makes it break apart. So I bake mine into little patties. This makes 12 to 15 depending on the size of your burgers, and you can keep them in the freezer, and all you do is just add some cheese or leave the cheese off, some ketchup, some mustard, and just enjoy. Honestly, it's so easy, and I really hope these ideas were inspiring for you. I know it's tricky when I don't cook them, but I have so many recipe videos on my channel, and I just don't want to be redundant. So go ahead and check those out. I'm going to put this rice dish together for you here, and I will insert some footage. I added some tomato sauce, and then I'm just adding this Creole seasoning. I got this at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. That's the cheapest I found it. At Walmart, they have in the Hispanic food section some spices that are $1, but my Hayes Market has spices for 80 cents. So typically, if I'm not growing my herbs and drying them, I am getting them from the grocery store. Some people say they don't have enough room for a garden. You have enough room for herbs. I can tell you that. You could even grow herbs in the car if you wanted to, but there's a lot that you can keep on hand that will add some flavors to this. Again, in past videos, people are saying that spices they should be part of the $10 meal challenge, and I beg to differ because it's a spice is an investment. If you don't have the opportunity to get a spice, then go without it. So what I did was add all that tomato sauce to here with the Cajun seasoning, just because I'm feeling a little nauseous in the kitchen. That's not because of the food. Well, it is, but it's because I have hyperemesis in my pregnancies, if you're new here, and having a rough time. That's why I haven't done any cooking videos for a while, but this is one of the spices. Can you see me? That I'm talking about. This is from Walmart, 80 cents. You can put curry in here, this curry spice. It's not too spicy. And then a can of coconut milk, which is also under $1.50 at Walmart, which is a killer deal. Coconut milk can get super expensive, so that's up to you. If you need something creamy and you don't do dairy like myself, and I'm on and off it, honestly, it just makes me feel like garbage. But if you don't do dairy, you could also do oat milk, so you could make that too. But anyways, this is going to be really good. You could add sausage to it, but this will fill us for about 2 days or something like that. I have 2 toddlers. My husband eats for 2, and I'm supposed to be eating for 2, but I'm having a hard time. So we'll say my portion is a kid's portion. If you have a larger family, of course your budget is going to be a little different, but I did want to give you some options here on what you can make on the cheap, because there are things out there. I don't want you to get discouraged. There were a few months there where I got pretty discouraged myself, so I hope this was helpful. Alrighty, we had some successes and some failures, but overall I'm happy with what we came up with. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Again, if you're new here, I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button, share it with your friends, do all the fun stuff. I hope you have a phenomenal week. As always, stay adventurous, stay creative. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye, y'all.